Hello, how you doing? Good to see you again today.
Good. This is a mock counseling session. I'm a student at Arkansas University, and we'll be recording a session during the working stage of the counseling process, and this is only for teaching and learning purposes only.
Okay.
But before we start, I need you to sign this informed consent. This is just saying that you understand what's about to happen. You understand that I won't discuss anything that we talk about in our session.
Okay.
And if you have any other questions that come up during the session, feel free to ask them.
Okay.
You can sign right here.
Okay.
Thank you. So hello, Nate. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing better since the last time.
Yeah, the last time you were here, you had some anxiety about going home to having company and friends and boundaries.
Yeah.
And has anything improved, changed?
Yes and no. I'm starting to identify that, like you said, I actually do have a little bit of anxiety toward going home and seeing all these people. It's kind of put a strain on the relationship I have with my roommate.
Okay.
Because of the fact that these aren't my friends per se; they're his friends, and it's kind of bothering me because I work hard every day, and when I come home, I kind of want a little peace and quiet. At first, it was cool; I didn't mind it, but as I'm getting older, I'm starting to value my peace and quiet now, and I really can't get that anymore.
Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you think your anxiety is?
I'm around the 6 or 7 mark.
6 or
I'm
7?
around the 6 or 7 with the anxiety. But because I'm recognizing it, I'm trying to keep it there. I don't want to push it to a head where I'm telling my roommate get out and then kicking people out of my house. I don't want to do that. But like I said, as I'm getting older, I'm looking more toward a little more peace in my own life.
So you're saying you don't have enough peace having company often or having people that your roommate has over?
Right. Right there. When I say peace, I mean, when you come home off from work, you really want to just enjoy your house. Now, it was different if, we were college roommates, we're all in college together. But, I'm older now. I go to work, he goes to work. These people who come over to the house, they're eating food, they're loud, they're making me uncomfortable in my own house. And I guess because of the type of attitude that I have and how nice I truly am, I really don't know how to have those critical conversations with them. And that's really, it's stressing to me now because I don't want to go home. And it's bad because it's my house. So, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
So once you go home
Mm-hmm.
and you're ready to unwind, you're having to maybe play host.
Not necessarily play host. More so, it's almost like a retreat in my own home. Instead of, me being able to just sit where I want to sit, people are sitting in my chair. So I just, kind of push it out of my mind, ignore them, and then go upstairs like I'm a kid in my own house. And I really don't know how to react to that. And that's primarily what I'm battling with because I feel as if I've earned the right to go to my house and live and enjoy my house. I'm not necessarily playing host to them, but it's for instance, I go grocery shopping to buy orange juice. I expect my orange juice to be there when I get home, but instead and it's people sitting there not drinking my orange juice. And if I have those conversations with them, oh, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry doesn't replace my orange juice, and I enjoy my orange juice. And I just feel as if I shouldn't have to deal with that. It's a lot to deal with. You work hard for your own money, to have your own place. I have to fight in the streets and I have to fight at home. I just fighting all day is not really what I want to do.
So you bring up having your own home,
Mm-hmm.
your own job. You keep saying that you have these things. You've worked hard for these things. Is this something that you've been trying to work on? Is this something that's a surprise to you? How did you come to feel so deeply about, this is mine. These are my things. And I think that you should behave this way because these are my things.
I'm an only child, so growing up, I'm accustomed to having mine.
Okay.
And I don't mind sharing with other people. My parents always taught me that, sharing is caring. But at the same time, I just don't understand why people who is not theirs want mine. These people are significantly younger than me.
Okay.
So, this whole communal thing, everybody just enjoys everybody's stuff. In college, I had roommates 1 year until I became an R8, and I kind of had my own thing. It might be the fact that I'm a loner,
Okay.
and I really don't want to. Not that I don't want to deal with people. If I invite people, that is fine, but they know their boundaries. It's the fact that, I don't really know these people like that. And since I don't know them like that, for them to be all in my space, touching my things, it makes me kind of anxious because, I want to tell them to get out of my house. But at the same time, I'm a nice person. I really don't know how to do that. And now it's to the point to where I feel bad because I know the solution to the problem. Get rid of my roommate. But that's not right to my roommate because I really don't have a problem with him.
Okay. So, just so we're clear, we're going, in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
You care about your roommate,
yes,
but just not all of his company all
yes,
of the time.
right.
But you're also saying you're 28,
yes,
and you're ready to go ahead and be more independent and
yes,
alone.
yes.
Have you ever told any of your roommates' company to just leave?
Yes.
How did that go?
And see, that's a deeper part of the problem. I am a member of a fraternity, and those friends of my roommate are members of the same fraternity, and he is a member of my fraternity. Hence why we are roommates. It's not necessarily because I want a roommate. More so, years ago, a couple years ago, he wanted to be. He needed a place to stay for a little while he was going through a transition, and he just never left. Now these members of my fraternity feel as if since we have this bond, it is okay for them to be there all the time. And in all actuality, it's not. I'm seriously looking at, when I was in college and I was forced to be around you guys. It was fine. Yeah, brotherhood. But now it's like I really could care less, and I'm not on campus anymore. I know it's a bond until the day we die. But I just honestly have to say it's not my first love anymore.
Okay.
I'm moving on to greener pastures, and I'm ready to leave that behind me. But I battle with the feeling that I'm leaving my brother out there, and I don't want to leave my brother out there like that. But because of that, they have this thing to where it's not mine, it's ours.
Okay.
And that's pretty much which when you're on a college campus, I understand that concept because you don't have anything. So the little that we get, the brotherhood, it's amongst us. But once again, growing up as a child with no siblings, not that I was spoiled by any means, but I didn't have to share nothing with other people. And when it was time for me to share, that was fine. I could share. But you forcing yourself upon my things that I work hard for myself doing, not cool. Not cool at all. Not cool.
That's
Yeah.
very forward of you to be able to handle the situation the way you are handling it.
And I'm trying to.
You're doing a good job.
Well, thank you.
No one's been kicked out. No one's
Yeah.
hurt.
I'm about this close. I'm about this close, but I'm trying.
Okay. Well, if anyone understands, I understand. I'm a part of a sorority, and once you grow, we go in different places.
Yeah.
So, what happens when you don't say anything for a while about what happens? Does your roommate interject? Does he have say over the traffic that goes in and out of the house? How does he handle it?
I think he's aware of it, and he's kind of curbed it a little bit. And what ends up happening is that I tend to internalize it a little bit, and it stays inside of me until it gets to a head, which causes a problem because then that's when I am so stinging mad that I tend to say something that's inappropriate, and that causes more undue stress and problems. He tends to, he recognizes it. He's young too, so he doesn't see the things that I see, but We're trying. I try to have those conversations with him, but we just don't see eye to eye on certain areas and certain things.
Hence the reason
Why it's an ongoing problem.
you want to move or
Have him move. I like my house. I want to keep my house. This is my house.
Okay.
And I know I always go back to it's mine, but at some point in a man's life, he has to have his own.
Okay.
I always think of the song, God bless a child that has his own. I got my own.
They should probably get their own.
They need to get their own, and I guess that's why I'm looking at it. I worked hard. I went and grabbed up what I need to get to make my house a home. But I made it a home for me, not for them. Now they're more than welcome to come to my home, when invited, and they should govern themselves accordingly. But you can't come to my house and then treat my house as if I don't what they say, su casas and my casa, mu casa, something like that. That's fine. I don't mind that. What I do mind is that you come into my house and you disrespect my house. You disrespect me. You come all times of day and night like you own the place, and then get upset with me about things like for instance, I bought some cereal. You're hungry. You ask me, can you have some cereal? That is fine. I give you some cereal. Great. Don't criticize the type of cereal I buy. Those little small things. And then the next time I come home, you're eating my cereal because you thought you had permission because last time I gave you some. It doesn't work like that. Or like disrespecting me by using my, washing machine anytime you have the opportunity to wash clothes. You think that you can just come over my house and do it. 10 o'clock at night. Like I don't have a life and don't have quiet time that I need to have. It's those little things that really just irk me. If his company was to, govern themselves according to just the basic laws of, common courtesy, I wouldn't have a problem. And he's talked to them, but they just don't listen. They're young, and I guess that's where I'm at now. Is how do I approach these young people to explain to them, it's a grown man house, but govern yourself accordingly. And so the only way I can think of it is just not let them in. But then they get upset because I'm not letting them in. And by them being members of my fraternity, they think that I'm, a certain type of way, or I am, ostracized because of such. And it hurts. It really does.
I can see how this could be frustrating. So you seem to be ready to make a decision on how to go forward.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you've come up with that you think could work?
Lock my doors. Don't let them in my house.
Okay.
That's one. Just have that critical conversation with my roommate and let him know, look, you're not allowed to have company anymore. I know you pay rent here, but that's it. These people are not allowed, and then give them a list of who isn't allowed. And to me, that kind of seems a little undue and unbearing, But at the same time, I have to do what I have to do, or I have to get rid of this roommate and find somebody. If I want a roommate, find someone who is a little bit more understanding to the plight that I'm dealing with, or go it alone. I don't need a roommate. I only kept him around because he is a member of the fraternity, and he pays rent, and and it's always good because I'm able to use my money towards something else and just use his rent money to pay toward the mortgage. So it's little intricacies like that, but I could do without him, and you just get a dog. I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
What kind of dog are you considering?
Well, I was looking at. I'm getting older, so I want some kind of companion dog. And since at that point I'll be living by myself, I was thinking something like a bull mastiff. It's a really, really big dog. It looks really scary, but it's really, really nice, kind of like me. It's just a nice dog. But then again, I also realize you got to feed a big dog. The big dog get a big backyard, and my backyard is nice, but it's not big enough for a big dog. So I was thinking of like a little puppy dog of some sort. Like as a kid, I had a West Highland White Terrier. I really enjoyed it. I like that. Plus, women like the little bitty dogs. So they come up to the house, they can pet the dog. I'm thinking something along those lines. Yeah, a Westie or a Bull Mastiff. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing, correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
is if you had your own place, or if you didn't have any roommates and so much traffic, you could possibly get a dog to
Mm-hmm.
fill that void
Right.
for companionship.
Yeah.
And if you had people of the opposite sex over,
Mm-hmm.
they would have that companion as well.
And not have to worry about my roommate because he's there, and so that's kind of always a who is that? That's the roommate. Too old for that now. So yeah. Or his friends out there. It's kind of hard to bring somebody over to the house and it's like, okay, cool. All these 100,000 people, who them? The bros. It's just not cool. So I'd rather have a dog because the dog would just sit there and be like, hey, I'm a dog. I'm thinking, it's just hard. The older you get, the older you get people. Yeah. This is the world I live in. And this is all bearing on me because at the end of the day, I'm thinking, this is my house. Why I have to put up with this and these people? And I could just have a dog, and the dog, as long as you feed the dog, he happy. Feed the dog, walk the dog.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of arrangements did you and your roommate set up? Did he sign a lease?
No.
Okay.
No, there's no lease. It was more of I need a place to stay for a couple of months while I prepare and transition myself to move out of town. And I said, okay, cool. I need this much money a month. As long as you give me the money, normally I don't really care about what you do. But that was 3 years ago.
Okay.
When I was in a totally different mindset 3 years ago. The older I get, the more this is, the more my mindset changes. I guess 3 years ago I was in a totally different. My view of the world was different. I was a way more sociable person. I enjoyed being around all kinds of people all day and night. But I guess as I've grown older, I've gained more responsibility on the job. I've been promoted. I've taken on additional responsibilities in my other facets of my life, and I just don't have the patience anymore for people. And I know that sounds bad, but I just don't have the patience anymore for, I guess, people who are not like-minded like myself.
Okay.
The more I look at my friends and what they're doing now, my friends know, okay, cool, it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night. The likelihood of me staying over here just hanging out all night long talking crazy, they don't do anymore. They go home. Why? Because they know that I'm going to get tired in a minute and go to sleep. They got to get up and go to work the next morning too. But to have people who are there 2 and 3 at 4 o'clock in the morning when I have to be up to go to work the next day is just downright, to me, disrespectful because y'all know I have to go to work. Shut up. Get out of my house. So it's just different. So I guess I'm it's not midlife crisis I think I'm experiencing. More so it's the growing pains of growing older.
Okay.
And living in this circumstance. I see why when I was in college, I was an undergrad and I lived with 3 people. And we had a blast all the time. Nobody ever went to sleep seemed like. The door stayed unlocked. People playing basketball in the house all night long. PlayStation. That was fine. But when you hit various different checkpoints in your life, what is it? What the Bible says, at some point, it's time to put away childish things. When I was a child, I did childish things, but now as a man, you put them away. So I guess I'm at that point to where certain things need to be put away, and I need to figure out how to approach those to put them away.
That's a very mature decision to have to come to.
Right, especially when you never had to deal with anything like this, and then you're talking about people who you do consider friends too. Like I say they're his friends by merit of them being in my fraternity. They're some of them are my friends, but some of them just are not. And it's not, But by merit of being in my fraternity, how do I make that decision? And I have a role model who when I was younger, was doing things that seemed like it averted this problem I have. But at the time I didn't understand it. And he's a member of my fraternity too. And he went and he got a house and he has this buzzer system in which he buzzes. When you come over to the house, you buzz. He said, "What you want?" From outside the door. He'll never open the door for nobody. He'll never let nobody in the house. I get why now. Because they don't want to leave and they just want us to do stuff. And then they cook at your house and leave stuff in the sink. But I realize it goes back to me being so nice and it getting to this point now. Gotta get rid of these people.
So you think being nice is a
Yeah.
problem?
Yeah. That's a gift and a curse that I have in my life. I think I'm too nice to people. And I think because of being nice, I'm being taken advantage of. Because they know if I say get out my house, how am I really going to enforce that? And if I do enforce that, I'm looking at, oh, he's so mean. And I guess I care enough about what people think of me to where I don't want to be perceived as such a mean person. It's bad. But yeah, I think the niceness is the problem.
When have you ever tried being mean and it worked?
Friday night.
Okay.
Um, this certain person came up to the house and, like I say, wanted to wash clothes at 10 o'clock at night. I said, no, bro, it's 10 o'clock at night. I'm going to need for you to leave. You can stay for a little bit because I'm up. It's a Friday night, but you can't wash clothes. He said, why? I said, because I said so. I had to put my mom. He's like, why you being like that? I'm like, because it's 10 o'clock at night. 1, 2. I don't want you washing clothes in my house at my house, 2, 3, whatever number that was. And then, because I said so again. And, this is my house. Why I got to justify to you, but I don't want you doing something in my house. He got all mad, pitched a fit, sit down for a second. So I continued to sit down, talk to someone, my other fraternity brother about something. He got up and put the clothes in the washing machine anyway. I guess he think I didn't have no credence into what I was saying. So I told him to get out of my house. He sat back down. So I took my water key, went outside and turned off the water. Okay, and came back in. So of course he was mad and this and this, but I'm not the confrontational type of person. I'm not gonna start a fight with you because you didn't. Something like that, because then it's gonna cause a problem. We get to fighting, it's gonna be issue and messed up our friendship. But by doing what I did that way, that eliminated you doing what I didn't want you to do, which is washing clothes. You don't know where the water key is. You can't turn the water back on. And but you get the point that you can't wash clothes here. So he got his stuff and he left. I turned my water back on and gave me a glass of water and sat down. It's one of those things like I don't want to have to get to that point. I don't have to outsmart you for you to not do what I want to do. But I know with this particular person, I've been so nice to him over the years that he doesn't take me seriously. But I think after that, everybody else kind of got the point that don't mess with him. But I'm not the confrontational type. I don't want to start a fight or something like that. But that's just how I am right now. I guess situation I'm dealing with.
Well, we've seen what happens when you're nice, and we see what happens when you're being not so nice.
Right.
So now we want to try to merge those things and make it long term.
Yes, we want to figure out how to, I guess, I don't know, have that conversation in a way in which I'm not so easy to back down and allow it, but not go to so much of an extreme that I have to turn off my own water in my own house.
Right.
Yeah.
You have a good point.
So how do I do that? Because I'm at a loss. That's why I just don't understand.
Well, how do you feel about maybe having a conversation with your roommate, a formal conversation where your feelings are displayed, but not in a way that makes you seem like you're being too nice again?
That's what I battle with, because I don't want to come off as so. I don't know. I don't know how to have that conversation. I don't want to have that conversation.
Maybe it's about being brave and confronting it head on.
Okay, maybe I just need to do that. Yeah.
I think you got it in you.
Yeah.
Because you've been able to get your own job, move up in your job. You've been able to have your own home.
But that's different. Like I said, I value my personal friendships. I don't want to lose my friendships. My friendships is all I have. And as a kid, I really didn't have that many friends. So, to me to have the people around me that, even if I don't really consider them friends, I feel as if, I'm connected to them. I don't want to lose them over, something as petty as my own selfishness. And growing up, I didn't really have friends till I came to college. My first, yeah. My first friend was my dog. That's why I want a dog again. So so now I consider my roommate a friend.
Okay.
And if I confront it, I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my friend. I don't want to lose my friend, but I don't want to lose my mind too, because of the fact that every day I come home, they sit in my house talking crazy and disrespecting my house.
Have you guys ever had house rules put in place? Study times.
Never really, no, I never thought about that. I never thought we really needed it.
Eventually growing.
Yeah. Maybe it's time to actually input something like that. Definitely.
So everyone has, no friend is being manipulated more than the other. You know, you don't want to say, hey, no, none of your friends can come, or just this one person.
Okay. Definitely need to do something.
And then you two can compromise. Come up with rules that you both can agree on.
Okay. You know what? I like that better than downright just getting rid of them.
And in turn, maybe your roommate will
Just move out in itself. And that'd be good too. But okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.